to you.
Well, I'll go ahead and deliver the verdict now.
Guilty on all counts. Just tell me
Yeah, I'll
ready.
just go ahead and deliver the verdict. I'm sure that you can write it down and give it to him when he wakes up.
Guilty on all verdicts because he fucking lied. Because he fucking lied!
Other court motions stuff after this verdict is delivered. Court is back now in session. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. I apologize for going so far over time. There was a lot of considerations that needed to be done. A lot more than I initially thought.
I think this is a lost chat.
So,
Because he
with
lied.
that said, let's get into it.
Here we go, chat.
So, in ensuring that all avenues are explained properly, I'm going to take a bit of time to explain the verdict in full. Now, to find if Daquan Damas was liable for all criminal charges, we must first look at all the evidence provided by the prosecution, as well as witness statements and any potential alternative explanations provided by the defense.
Here we go, chat.
To start, we will examine officer testimony in the pursuit leading up to the shooting. Multiple officers stated under oath and in court and in the report that a red gauntlet, which belongs to a Mr. Daquan Damas, was used to initiate in the pursuit. It was seen pitting officers before
pitting officers didn't pit officers.
Officers were issued to it.
Didn't happen.
Now this is going to lead us up to the shooting, where most of the testimony and explanations have been provided. The defense has put forward the explanation that Mr. Damas was simply inside the plaza purchasing food. Indeed, when we look at Mr. Damas's possessions, we can see that he had food from many of the food stalls in his possession, with most of it appearing to be fresh. However, there is no explanation provided for what his vehicle was doing prior to this. Now, there are no signs of tampering on the vehicle, leading us to the conclusion that either Mr. Damas was in control of the vehicle or someone else had access to his car. However, considering that Mr. Damas stated he was there to purchase food, it is logical to conclude that the vehicle was in his possession in the moments prior to this. Considering the defense provides no logical explanation for this time period, we can only come to one conclusion, that Mr. Damas was likely the operator of the vehicle at the time of these pits occurring. Now, this will lead us up to the shooting itself. Throughout witness testimony provided to the courts, it was unclear why the shooting was necessary outside of a mention that an officer was potentially run over after the collision occurred. After reviewing officer statements and witness testimony, we find that while this is probable, there is another issue at play here. In Denzel's testimony, he stated that he does not recall if he said anything to Mr. Damas when he exited his vehicle to open fire. Mr. Damas provided witness testimony stating that Denzel said he was going to die. Given that Denzel does not remember what he may or may not have said, the court can only conclude that he did indeed yell or say that Mr. Damas was going to die. With this context in mind, it draws into question the documentation of the use of force. Why is there no mention of this in either of the co-primary statements? Why did Denzel not find it important to document the use of deadly force against a citizen of the state of San Andreas? The only mention of this fact is from secondary officers who were not present.
He's gonna say go to civil.
Given the convenient lack of testimony from Denzel about what he said, the court concludes that there's not enough context to determine that this use of force is lawful. We find that while there's certainly more than enough evidence to convict Mr. Damas guilty of the crimes that he was accused of prior to this, he was arrested via a potentially unlawful use of deadly force. As such, we shall be finding the gun retrieved from the search fruit of the poisonous tree and ruling the arrest to be unlawful.
What?
Find that the LSP did not take care in documenting the reasons behind their deployment of lethal force against the citizen of San Andreas. And as such, the subsequent arrest from this use of force shall be deemed unlawful as well.
Oh my God!
We'll be granting the appeal to Mr. Damas. All charges related to this incident are to be removed from his record, and he is to be refunded the full $24,200.
Let's
His
go.
items are not to be returned. Officer Yates shall have an arrest warrant issued for failure to appear before this court. That is the decision of the court.
Oh my God!
Thank you, Your Honor.
I know. Your Honor, can I say something before I exit out this court case? I just want to thank you, Your Majesty, for, you know, seeing what really happened here and coming to a great conclusion and seeing that I was taken advantage of. And I was basically shot in broad daylight for no reason. Thank you so much, Your Honor. And I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, where do I get my money?
Please come up to me and provide your bank account ID.
Your Honor, just a reminder that Officer Shiesty
should still be held in contempt of court too for being hostile.
I did not forget.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I do not need you to remind me.
I don't think he meant in a bad way, Miss St. Joe. I just, you know what I'm saying?